Welcome to Into the Mind of a Madman. You are now rocking with me, the Madman. The conversation. Believe all women. I can't believe all women. I don't believe all of nobody. I don't believe all the kids. I don't believe all men. I don't believe all women. I don't believe all elderly. A lot of people be making up things. I mean, as kids, growing up as humans, I'm gonna say humans because I don't know what they do in the animal kingdom, but human nature, we learn when if anybody has kids, right? You watch your kids grow, and you learn from you get to see a kid from a young age start to manipulate what what they want the outcome of their situation to be. You know what I'm saying? Far as going from mommy or daddy or grandma, grandpa, if you're telling a kid you can't get no candy, oh, if the mom says that, oh, let me go to dad. If the parents say that, let me go to the grandparents. You know, as humans, we start learning how life goes and what I can do to get my way. You know what I'm saying? And that starts from an early age. And the difference between someone who's 4 or 5 years old versus somebody who's 30 or 40 is the intelligence and the the experience of this works and this doesn't work, and the interactions of people. You see what I'm saying? So a kid is still naive to a lot of things. They don't have a lot of experience, and they're just not capable of understanding of an adult seeing what they're doing, and it like it just don't register. Like I've heard your mother's in the living room or in the kitchen, you wanted a cookie, she told you no. I'm in the room, I heard her tell you no. Now you're running into the room and asking me for a cookie, like I just didn't hear your mother. Like, but as a kid, your brain doesn't register that. See what I'm saying? So, and what I'm saying, and I'm saying that, and when kids play and you hear if you got a bunch of kids in the room playing and something goes down, and they'll go, I don't know what happened, and all of these things. So to know a kid can try to manipulate a situation, and there are in their infant brain, and now you have an adult who has all these experiences, all the manipulation tactics, what works and what don't work, and all of these things. To believe anybody of anything would be insanity. But however, let me state this, just in case, all of the things, right? With women, and my passion, and my heart that I have for women, I can hear you out. I can't believe you, but I can hear you out. But in 2025, I gotta say, as a man, it's very hard with all of these allegations coming out to not think that we, as a man, are being preyed upon. As the women supporter I am, I still recognize the the hurdles and the setbacks that we are having in 2025 because people are making false allegations. Now, I previously stated in one of my previous uh shows, you know, we gotta protect the freaky, but this is outside of the freaky. This is not protecting the freaky. This is protecting the man, protecting the values of manhood and womanhood, pro- protecting the the breakup, the protecting the things didn't go as planned, and now not have a resentment and not have the hurt and not have the frustration of whatever may cause the wrongness. Maybe I cheated. Maybe I gave didn't necessarily physically cheat, but I gave the money to a girl. Maybe I took the rent money and gambled it away. Maybe I took the house money or the vacation money and I smoked it all away with drugs or did whatever with the drugs. And now you're maybe maybe I did whatever I did to be the catalyst for the end of this relationship, but I still don't deserve for the false allegations of sexual assault, of being verbally and mentally and financially abusive to the point where people are thinking I held you hostage or I was this guy who suppressed you into being with me. Now, don't get me wrong. In domestic violence, in the home, right, where domestic, we're living together, or we see each other as much as you got a key to my house, I got a key to yours, or we in a relationship, or whatever it may be. For a lot of us in this world, well, I don't know in the world, in American society, we encounter a lot of abuse, far as domestic abuse, far as the verbal and the mental. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna speak on the financial just yet because I believe the term financial abuse is is new. It's new to me. But the action of it has been around for forever, right? But when we are in these relationships, you may verbally abuse me, I verbally abuse you, you mentally abuse me, I mentally abuse you. And it's normal to a degree that it's certain things in this relationship. We're gonna fight, we're gonna argue, we're gonna do this and that. Like for 95% of relationships in America, we'll all experience these things and still be with each other. See what I'm saying? And we'll live through that as long as we're willing to take it. You know what I'm saying? As long as it don't get too bad. We'll live through physical abuse. We'll live through very hurtful uh very hurtful, I'm saying like public abuse is what I'm looking for. Like far as like yeah, you might curse me out and you might call me out my name and you might do these things within the household, within the home, but we may step outside the home and you still continue to berate me and talk to me in such a way in public to where now other people can be looking down on us or looking at us like, wow, that couple's is out of control. You see what I'm saying? And we'll live through all of the things. And like I said, that includes cheating. Like cheating, you're cheating with somebody, and now that, and you may feel like now that person that you cheated with got one up on me, whether it's a male or female, whatever, whatever. See what I'm saying? And we got to deal with that. It's not the it's the hurt of you cheated and you stepped out of this relationship, but also knowing now there's a person outside of this relationship that's looking at this relationship, and and has a valid judgment on us. See what I'm saying? So that embarrassment may be way much more than what goes on in this house. So with all the things encompassing, right? With all the things I just named encompassing, for us to finally reach a point where, you know what, we're no longer good for each other, we're ending this, I'm going my way and you going your way, and now a couple months later, a year or two later, or 10 years later, you come out. I mean, I don't know how many normal regular guys go through this, but I'm just saying far as what's in the news, right? For now, all of a sudden you come out and try to paint one particular party, like a woman comes out and tries to paint this man as this all abusive person, and like he had you locked up in a dungeon somewhere, and now you're throwing on these sexual assaults. It's hard. It's hard to just believe all women. It's way too many cases of sexual assaults being used as a tool to destroy a man, right? And I hate that it's one sided, but the reality is most men, if they were sexually abused by a woman, they wouldn't bring it to the forefront. You see what I'm saying? So I know a lot of people say, like, well, you can't blame me for doing something you just don't want to do. See what I'm saying? Far as what I'm saying is, when something happens to me and I speak on it, and I do the same thing to my wife, but she don't speak on it, but her reply is, well, I you do it to me and I don't say nothing. Like, you can't, like, I understand you I can't hold you to that. You can't hold me to that just because I feel like I need to speak on it. If I do it to you and you don't want to speak on it, then you got to bear that. You know what I'm saying? You don't put it off on me and say I can't speak on it because you decided not to speak on it. See what I'm saying? It's that type of situation. So if a man doesn't want to put that out there on a woman, or we feel like it's not gonna be taken serious, we'll be laughed at, we'll have the criticism of, man, you're the man, you too strong, you can't be sexually assaulted, you could have did something, you probably liked it, it was a woman who did it, so whatever, you see what I'm saying? So it's so much criticism in it, and the fact that, and in the fact that it just it, it's just something we don't want to live with. It's really a problem that men have to face from women at the end of the day. Is all I want to say with that. Um, when these these allegations that are like right now, the most current allegation is with Zion Williamson, right? And I'm gonna come out and say it because I said it with one of the Diddy cases when it was one of the civil cases. If you look back on my page, you'll see. I clearly just said I don't believe it, right? With this Zion Williamson case, I just don't believe it. I believe it's coming. I don't. I mean, it's a Jane Doe or whatever, whatever. But I think the general masses may understand at this point, even at this point, where this case is coming from, right? And what I truly don't believe, what made me not believe in this particular situation was when they put in the financial abuse part, right? And then that they had a relationship. I'm gonna start off with that, right? I believe financial abuse is a new term. But people, men, far as men saying, hey, quit your job. I want to have a stay at home wife. I want you to not work because I want you to watch the kids. I'm the provider. I don't like men who take on that responsibility of I'm 100% provide for you and know that and have a woman quit, and then when they go through it, they or not even if the woman still works and the man knows he's the provider, and the way and the extra, like the little bit of money she gets from working or whatever she get to do something with, but for like it ain't enough money to do nothing with. So if a man knows whether she's working or not, if a man knows you have to come to me for the money, whether it's paying for providing your car note, getting your hair and nails done, and spending money, going on vacation, right? If he knows this, and when he gets mad or y'all get in an argument, like I previously stated, because that'll happen in most of our relationships, and he starts to hold it over your head. Oh, well, you're not getting your hair done this week. Oh, you can't go on this trip. Well, I'm not paying your car note, or I'm not giving you gas money, or I'm not giving you money to spend with you, like going out with your friends or whatever, whatever, for you to have a good time. You staying in the house. Like, that's financial abuse. It was never like a specific name far as I knew. Is like I said, the term is very new to me, but the action is not. So when the lawsuit is filed and you say financial abuse, and you looking at the dynamics of this relationship, it's not that solely made me not believe, but it was a big red flag because, and I'm guessing it comes from me having the idea who filed it and the dynamics of that situation. So when you filing a civil suit, right, and you are a person who makes way less than this famous basketball player, and you're not getting what you wanted, I I feel like this is what I'm saying. In most relationships, if they were to file a lawsuit against you for how you treated them, right? Financial abuse wouldn't come up. You see what I'm saying? It would be, this man is abusive. He used to beat me. He used to keep me locked up to where I couldn't do anything. He was verbally and mentally abusive. See what I'm saying? It like the financial part of, oh, I couldn't get my nails done and my hair done, and he I couldn't get the car I wanted. Like that wouldn't come up in your lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was present. See what I'm saying? So in my view, for you to add this new term, and because now it's hot, I think that was a red flag to me. I'm just telling you the truth. If you were, if so many people go through, like I said, I stated out, so many people are going through domestic abuse because that's just what it is. Like that's normalized in the society, the fighting, the arguments, the all of the things. When you like when how many times, all right, for example, let me this is the way to cut it short. When people are going through divorce, right? Most of the time you're hearing about um infidelity. You're hearing about irreconcilable differences. That means far as irreconcilable differences, like, yo, we've been fighting and arguing about this and that, taking out the trash, why you didn't come home early, why you going out with the boys all the time, why we don't chill no more, this and this and that. You don't, or financial, like people divorce over finances. It's like, yo, we struggling. I'm tired of struggling. I could do bad all by myself. It's rare, like I said, it's rare that you're in a relationship with somebody and you're claiming financial abuse. It's like you're trying to make this person be the ultimate bad guy. You see what I'm saying? And that's how I hear financial abuse, just to be honest. That's I could be totally wrong on this, but that's just how I hear it. And the biggest thing for me within this particular lawsuit was the sexual assault. It was saying he sexually assaulted her to the utmost. If you know the lawsuit, you know on YouTube they don't like you to say the words, and I don't like saying code words or whatever. So the sexual assault to the utmost, it were two, right? And it was two in the Shannon Sharp. And it's like, believe all women come to my mind. And it's like, yo, what's the odds that a person who, I know this is insensitive. I can't think of it without being insensitive. I can't say this without being insensitive. So I want to put a disclaimer. I'm about to be very insensitive. So if you don't want to hear this, please. There's no way that a person you're in a relationship with will only sexual assault you twice over a course of time. I feel like if there is a point of that man can reach to where he now takes it to this level, and you're claiming that this person was financially abusive, emotionally abusive, um physically abusive, that this is not a consistent and ongoing thing. Like, I liken it to Cassie and Diddy. When we seen that hotel video, I can clearly, there's no way anybody with sense would see that video and say that's the first time that happened. See what I'm saying? It's like you can see in the video of how demonstrative, of how open and public it was in a sense, even if it was a cleared floor that they paid for the whole just the casualness of you running out and doing that, and her curling up and balling up and not fighting back. Like, the first time a person is physical with you, it may not be a slap. It may just be a strangle, like a grab or whatever. Then it might go to a slap. And then it might go to a punch. And then it's throwing you down. And once you kind of get in that mode, all the things come together. See what I'm saying? So for somebody to say they sexually assaulted me to this degree at this point, then it didn't happen to this point. See what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm saying it's hard for me to believe this with a, and I'm not going to say, why did you stick around and all that? That's stupid to me. Like, that argument, that argument is stupid. I'm saying, I believe when these women are coming to these attorneys and these attorneys are saying, hey, listen, all the we can't we could sue the man for being a bad guy. We could sue them, like, this wasn't your man or whatever, you know what I'm saying? This wasn't your husband. This was your boyfriend. We could sue him and get a couple dollars, and he might pay a couple dollars because he just don't want a bad reputation as being a bad man. You see what I'm saying? But if we want the big bucks, we want the millions of dollars, we're gonna have to say there was a sexual assault to and of the highest level. See what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. I could be wrong. I could be insensitive. But that's just how I feel. And we can't leave room for a jury, a judge. We can't leave room for this man we're placing this upon for us to tell him we're suing you for this and him brush it off. So he gonna have to hear something in this to make him gonna want to come out his pocket to at least stop this from coming out. Or if it does come out, the judge is gonna have to hear something that can't be mistaken. Again, this is sensitive. One time is not a mistake. One time of something happening to that degree, an sexual assault to being happen to that degree, is not a mistake. But it can be misinterpreted to somebody who was not in that situation. See what I'm saying? So if you're taking it to a judge and you're taking it to a jury, they might be like, hey, for example, they may be a couple who argue and use makeup sex as a close for the argument of we getting back together, right? It's just like, I don't want to bring this artist's name into it, right? But an artist, a very famous artist, very hot at this point, put out a song and a video and it's called "We Cry Together." I won't name him as I won't name him by name, but he put out a song "We Cry Together," and the song is a couple arguing back and forth, and then at the end of the song, I've been talking for a while, and at the end of the song, they they get together sexually, right? And the way he did it in the song, they kind of spoke it up and started having sex, right? But in reality, a lot of people may use makeup sex as a olive branch for a bad argument, right? Just like in the movie Baby Boy. But I don't believe it always happens as a mutual understanding. Like if I'm arguing with my wife and my wife decides to, I is the argument is over, let's try to smooth things out, and she makes a sexual advance at me, or I make a sexual advance at her. She may not want it at this particular time because she's still mad, and I'm trying to get over it. I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to find a median in this, and I'm using sex for that, right? And it may be a thing where she's not with it at first. Oh, get off me. Now I'm still mad, whatever, whatever. Right? But eventually we do it or whatever. We actually have sex with makeup. I I don't want her to now when we break up finally to say, oh, he sexually assaulted me at this moment at that time. Now, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to use that. So and I'm not saying that she's gonna like she may use that, but that's may how a judge may hear it. That may be how a jury may hear it after you are in this courtroom saying, yo, they did this and she did this and she did this and he did this. You see what I'm saying? You going back and forth in this case, and the jury may hear it as, oh, they was just in a toxic relationship. So the one time sexual assault to that degree may be a misunderstanding. So back to my point, let's bring it back. When this girl goes to an attorney, he goes, hey man, one time ain't good enough. We're gonna have to say at least twice so we can establish intent that this is what this person does as a pattern of behavior. Once they reach a certain point, this is what they do. And we don't want to leave room for, hey, maybe that was just a one time. They just a toxic couple and they did this and this and that. It was a misunderstanding. See what I'm saying? So I believe it has to happen more than once. So now they're saying, oh, this person sexually assaulted me this many times, this twice. You see what I'm saying? Very insensitive of me, but I really gotta say this. I really gotta get it off my chest. It's I could never go to or be in this frame of mind where I just believe all women. I would never be in a frame of mind I believe all men. I'm going to hear you out. I'm going to allow myself to hear each party, gather all the information. I'm not saying me personally, like I'm digging into y'all lives, but what I'm saying as a general understanding, and this is a PSA I want to hear. This is a PSA I want to put out to the people. It's not believe all women. It's please hear them out. Have a willingness to hear all information. Have have not a bias because you are a man, even though I'm saying, as a man, I do think there is an attack and there is a imbalance. I don't I don't know if it's correct to say there's a natural imbalance because I don't know if it's natural, but it's a societal imbalance because like I said before, men are not prone to tell these things if it did happen to us. We're not encouraged to tell these things if it didn't happen to us. We're being looked at. We don't want it, and all of the things, right? So there's a societal imbalance to where that the woman is greatly is always going to be have these have this advantage of having these having this advantage of being able to tell these false allegations on men and have it be you're guilty till proven innocent. We seen it with the Jay-Z. You now he's suing Tony Busby for however millions because he lost endorsements. And this is Jay-Z. And this Jay-Z at the height that he is now, he's saying he lost millions of dollars of endorsements money. And this happened over 25 years, 25 years ago. So, like I said, the societal imbalance. I'm sorry, women. We just can't believe all women, bro. We just can't believe all anybody, but all women, believe all women is totally dead 2025. All we can do is and as men we gotta understand that this society is in balance. I don't know how to get it back on track, but just know that's what it is. Hopefully we can clear our names. Hopefully it ain't true because I don't want anybody to be sexually assaulted. I believe anybody who says, the person, if it found out to be totally false, the person the women should have to do the jail time. I'm with all of that. Um, as men, or I want to say, as a man to the men, I know it hurts being a man and being I know it's scary to think this could one day happen to me. Cause I feel like that. But we can't what I it's not believe all women, is hear women out. But I don't want men to just attack every woman because somebody, not eventually, but somebody will be telling the truth. And they need to feel comfortable telling the truth, whether it be your mother, your niece, your daughter, your aunt, your co-worker that you care about, your friend that you care about. We have to leave room, and we can't, as men, it's on us to not create a society, even though we're being preyed upon in this way, that we can't now create a society where women that who are being violated in such a way aren't comfortable in coming out because of the ones with the force allegations. It just it's hard to say we gotta chalk it up. It's hard. And like I said, as as a man, I don't have a son, but I have a nephew. We got fathers, we got uncles, we we got cousins, like the males. We got to look up for the younger generation of males, and we want to protect them. But we I've always put it on men that we got to be greater than. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, please, let's not make false allegations a tactic of getting back, a tactic of the hurt. No matter what the man did, I understand that, but the allegations is too great. You may have sons and all of the things, so just keep that in mind. This was a heavy one. I'm out. One love.